Good morning, Year 9. For today's lesson, I won't be in, but we'll continue on with looking at the history of Catholic education in Australia. So from the class page, we go through and come to the history of Catholic education in Australia, and this is what you should be able to do, right? Assessment down here on the right tells you what you should be able to do. There'll be a research project. We'll talk about that. That'll be on one of the priest or nun's orders, and there'll be a church history test. And of course, there'll be successful completion of the booklets for Catholic education. Now, in booklet 1, we've started that already. Everyone should have that book, and it's also online. We looked at the creation stories, the creation story that was around before the Europeans, the English and the Irish got here. And we saw that, like many other ancient creation stories, they relied on a created being the creator. Whereas with the Bible says that God is completely outside of creation. He's not in creation. It is not part of creation. And creation came from outside of ourselves, not from inside of ourselves, which is the thing that distinguishes the Bible from other stories, myths, legends. So then we're moving on to the arrival of Catholics in Australia, and they arrived as convicts. Australia was started as a jail. So To Know, Worship and Love, KWL, the textbook, you can be reading through that. The Irish convicts who landed here, remember it was started by the English as a way to relieve their jails. And you can have a look around these ones and follow these through here and record your pieces of information in here. Then they're looking at Catholic priest. The early government didn't really want Catholic priest in Australia. So there was a fair bit of kerfuffle before we got them. And you can have a look at that in Know, Worship and Love, and you can write the answers to the questions here. Decision to allow the New South Wales came after a long period of debate. Refer to the details in the online textbook to follow the process to debate the topic. Right, the process that happened, and that's Know, Worship and Love, KWL. Know, Worship and Love. So you're able to go on to that. And the early foundations of Catholic schools. You need to go through these and understand what was happening, and there was some timeline. You should be able to fill in a timeline for the growth of Catholic education from 1820 to 1872 in Australia. So we'll be looking at doing that. Ensure you have 10 to 12 items on your timeline and create your timeline using an online template. So you can be working on that as well this morning, please. So you're working your way through those. You have examples of timelines, and that would have been something you've done before. It's not something that's new. Okay, so that's what we're looking at this morning, gentlemen, and I'll catch you all again on Wednesday. Thank you.